So if you have fibroids, put a 1 in the chat. Thank you so much for the likes. I really appreciate it. Put a 1 in the chat if you have fibroids, and so I can know that you guys are in the right place. Okay. What was I gonna say? So yes. Okay. So a little bit about myself, in case you guys are watching me for the first time. And if you're watching me for the first time, let me know. I would love to know. Because sometimes I get new people, sometimes the same people. But my name is Sasha. I'm a holistic woman wellness specialist. And what I do is I help women who have fibroids and other reproductive health conditions. I help them adopt a healthy lifestyle, okay? But not just a healthy lifestyle, womb healing lifestyle. And also heal their womb, not just naturally, but also energetically, okay? So I've helped many women shrink and dissolve their fibroids, women that were having issues with with fertility, get pregnant, and regulate their menstrual cycles, rebalance their hormones, and so many other things, okay? So I love what I do because it helps put the power back into women's hands, because we think that we're powerless when we have fibroids or PCOS or endometriosis, and that is not true. That is not true, okay? You are never powerless. There's so much that you can do on your own that can eradicate these issues, okay? Believe it or not, all right? So, yes, if you have a fibroids, put a 1 in the chat, spreading love and kindness, okay? So you're gonna enjoy this live. We're talking about, I'm trying to get it up to at least 15 people up in here before we get started, because I really want this live I want more and more women to, know this information, okay? So hopefully we can get more people up in here, okay? If you know somebody that has fibroids, share this with them. There's so many women out there with fibroids, and that's gonna actually be the first thing that we talk about. There's so many women suffering from fibroids, and they need this information, and they need to know exactly what steps they should take, they need to know what this means when they do have fibroids, because a lot of women don't know. Okay, so we have somebody else. Okay. Ooh, I don't want to mess up your name. Willetter. Hopefully I said that right, or around, hopefully. But okay, yes, you guys are in the right place. So it's Lily. Okay, we'll stick to Lily. That's easier for sure. All right, perfect. Okay, so I would love to know, when you ladies are in the chat right now, or who are watching, when did you guys get diagnosed with fibroids? Like, how many years have you been dealing with fibroids? What year were you diagnosed with it? Let me know, if you don't mind, okay? As we wait for more women to join, okay, this live, all right? So unknown facts about fibroids, very, very important. And if nobody else joins, we're just gonna keep going, okay? You just found out, trying to conceive. Okay, great. Okay. It's, when I say great, it's good for you to know what's the issue when it comes to conceiving, because a lot of women are not able to conceive, and they have no clue as to why. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. Sorry, what did you say? I can't remember. Okay. So let's talk about unknown facts about fibroids. If you're in here and you have fibroids, you're in the right place, okay? Make sure you guys are following me, first of all, if you enjoy holistic conversations about fibroids, about how to get rid of fibroids naturally, okay? Again, my page is Holistic Womb Specialist. It's not medical advice, okay? So what does it feel like to pass a fibroid naturally? We're gonna get to that, Alexis. Hold on. We're gonna, I will start, you guys can ask questions, but what I'll do is I'll stop periodically and answer questions. But I'll get to that question, Alexis. Hopefully you're able to stick around with us. Okay, make sure you guys like the live. Okay, so if you guys have questions, you can put them in the chat and I'll come back to answer them. Okay, so a lot of women don't understand, you're welcome, hon. A lot of women don't understand how prevalent fibroids are. Fibroids are very prevalent, unfortunately. They're not normal, but they're very, very, especially in our society today. And I'm talking about especially in the US, of course, but other countries as well. It's very prevalent for women to be dealing with fibroids. It's a collective issue, right? And it's an epidemic. It's to the point where, and enough is not being done about it. And there's not enough awareness about fibroids. People are still confused. That's why I wanted to do this live. People are still confused. People are still not understanding what it actually means to have fibroids. They don't get it. They don't, and doctors pretend they don't get it either. Or maybe they really don't, but that's neither here nor there, right? So when it comes to fibroids, we're talking about 80% of women will get fibroids before the age of 50. And as time goes on, that number actually increases, okay? So why do so many women suffer from fibroids? Because number one, there's many reasons, but for the most part, we're not taught to get to the root cause of the problem. We're taught to just keep suppressing things. So when your body is showing you that you have hormonal issues, which is the start of the fibroid issue. When your body's showing you that you're having hormonal issues, hormonal imbalances, right? What most women will do is that they'll normalize it, or they'll consider, for example, cramps. That's a hormonal issue. That's been normalized. Breast tenderness, even during your cycle. These things are normalized. So women don't understand that, look, no, something's wrong. Like, my hormones are out of balance. They don't get it. So then these issues just get worse as time goes on. And then what happens is, what happens when you're dealing with hormonal imbalance for a long period of time, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse. We're dealing with more and more toxins in the body, right? More and more toxins in the pelvic area. So this is when we get fibroids. This is when we get things like endometriosis and, polyps, things like that. So heavy bleeding, right? So recognizing it early, hormonal imbalance early, is very important. And that's why I'm doing my workshop next week, okay? This is why I'm doing my workshop next week called Reset Your Hormones to Reset Your 2024. If you have not registered for that workshop and you have fibroids, you need to register, because that's the first step to restore your hormonal balance, okay? So make sure you register for that workshop. It's next week on the 17th and 18th. It's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but everybody that's in the workshop that registers will get the replays. So whether you're there in real time on the Zoom, or if you're not able to make it, you'll still get the replay if you register, okay? And it is now $77, okay? We also have partner afterpay. So if you need to be in that workshop, okay? That's the first step in getting to restore balance in your body, okay? And you're gonna feel a lot better when you do that. So let's talk about, when we talk about the symptoms of fibroids, let me go back to, so somebody asked, what does it feel like to pass a fibroid? And if you guys have questions, you guys are free to answer it. Everybody's different. For me, I never passed a fibroid. I guess it just dissolved, because when I went to the doctor, it shrunk, and then the next time I went again, like a year later, it was gone. And that's typically how my clients, that's typically what happens with them too. I've only heard of people passing a fibroid when it's like they're doing some extreme regimen, which I don't recommend, because what happens if you do an extreme regimen, what happens when you go back to your normal habits? Okay, so just be careful with that. For me, I didn't feel anything. I just felt my periods getting better, having more energy, just felt better in general. Okay, my second time, don't want another surgery. Yeah, and I'm happy that you said that. Is it C, baby? I'm not sure. But when it comes to that, when it comes to fibroids, right? Women typically, doctors will tell women to go towards surgery, whether that's whether that's a myomectomy or UFE, and they don't understand that they're gonna keep coming back until you get to the root cause of the problem. That's why it's so important to not even have the surgery in the first place, unless it's a life or death situation, to actually address the root cause and work on shrinking the fibroid until it eventually dissolves. So that's really important, right? And that also includes your lifestyle habits, right? That includes you understanding why you develop fibroids in the first place, so that it does not happen again, right? So you can start making shifts, okay? So should I put heat on fibroid? What do you mean, huh? What do you mean when you say heat? Do you mean like a heat blanket or something? I'm not sure what you mean. Okay, so what are the large clots? So that could be lining your tissue in the uterine area. But when you have a large clot, that's not a good sign. That's a sign of a hormonal imbalance. Even women without fibroids sometimes have clots without fibroids. But you don't want that. We know that the body is what's going on is your vagina is trying to expel toxins, but when you're dealing with a lot of toxins. So during your cycle, that's why a lot of women have heavy cycles and cramping. It's trying to expel the toxicity in the pelvic area and the reproductive organs. We definitely do not want to see clots. So if you see clots, especially huge clots, we got a lot of work to do, okay? We got a lot. She needs heating pads. Okay, you can, if that's helping you with the pain, you can. If you're in pain, do I think it's going to make a difference as far as shrinking the fibroid? No, but if you're in pain and that helps, you can go ahead. But what's going to work more than just putting heat to it is actually making shifts and, in your lifestyle, to eradicate the fibroid. That's going to help you more than a heating pad, okay? Because it makes sense, because I was doing a cleanse. I started eating healthy as soon as I found out. I heard castor oil can help. So castor oil, this is a controversial, but I'm going to talk about symptoms in a second. So I'm sorry if I roll my eyes. I'm sorry, not to you. I'm just to the whole castor oil pandemic that's going on now. People swear on castor oil. For my clients, some have had good experiences, some have had bad experience. But what castor oil is going to do is it may make you feel a little bit better on your cycle with the pain. So if it works, just make sure it's authentic castor oil. Go ahead, but it's not going to it's not going to dissolve a fibroid like that. No. Okay, I would focus on making changes in my lifestyle. I wouldn't focus on remedies until you're really making those lifestyle shifts. Focus on that first. What should you change first? And then you can do like the remedies later on. But the most important thing, because if you're doing castor oil and you're still engaging in the same things that cause you to develop the fibroid, you're wasting your time, okay? So hopefully that makes sense, okay? So when it comes to fibroid, symptoms do vary. Some women have more symptoms than others, okay? And if you guys don't mind, please like the live. All you have to do is tap on the screen to like the live. Some people have more symptoms than others. There's some people that have no symptoms and they have fibroids. There's some women that will have every symptom. They're from heavy bleeding to really, really bad cramps, right? To heavy clots, right? To, even back pain, depending on where the fibroid is located. Lots of pain, right? There's some women that they're also a lot of bloating, water retention. They'll have all the symptoms of fibroids. And there's some women that maybe they'll have one symptom or they won't have any symptom. Okay, so you can't really tell. Some people can tell by symptoms and they'll go to the doctor and, of course, do an ultrasound. But there's some people that they won't know they have fibroids at all until maybe they're pregnant and the doctor does an ultrasound and they're like, oh, there's a fibroid here, right? So sometimes there are no symptoms, right? So that's one thing about fibroids that kind of can be tricky. Sometimes there's no symptoms. There's literally, for some people, they had no symptoms. They had, their periods were fine. Everything was fine, right? But then they just have a fibroid, right? And they don't find out until they're pregnant. They go through an ultrasound, okay? And then there's some women who are unlucky that can have every single symptom. I was one of the unlucky ones when I had fibroids. I had all the symptoms. Like, I had a lot of symptoms. Like, they were really bad, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so, hold on. Let's see. Any questions? I'm looking for questions. One more question. Okay, I've been eating very healthy because of my fibroids. I'm anemic. Okay, so can you eat chicken and salmon? Honestly, especially in the beginning of my journey, I wouldn't eat. If you do eat chicken and salmon, you want to eat very little of it. But remember, diet is just one thing to change out of diet. People focus on diet, and that's good because a lot of people have really bad diets. But I don't want you guys to understand diet's not the only thing you want to change. But chicken and salmon, if you're gonna do it in very limited portions, but I wouldn't. For me, this is a personal choice for me. I'm plant-based vegan. That's just my personal choice. It wasn't necessarily because of fibroids. That was part of it, but it wasn't all because of that, right? That's just my personal thing. I'm not telling you to be vegan, but you do have to change your eating. And things like chicken, meat, we definitely, if not eliminated, limited significantly. That makes sense, okay? I started bleeding after using castor oil. Yeah, a lot of people say that too. That's why for me, I can't recommend it. Now, I tell people if you want to try it, go ahead, but I'm not going to personally recommend it because I've seen it have different effects on different people, castor oil, okay? All right, so make sure you guys are following me. If you're not following me, remember I talk about these topics all the time. I'm a holistic woman wellness specialist, and what I do is I help women who have fibroids and other reproductive health issues, okay, heal their wombs naturally and also energetically, okay? So very, very important. All right, so let's go through what are some facts that you did not know about fibroids. The age, let's talk about the age that fibroids can occur because a lot of people assume that it's probably like 20s and 30s. And that's not necessarily true. Yes, I would say women in their 20s and 30s, even 40s have probably the most fibroids. Actually, it's actually women in their 40s, but women that are teenagers can also get fibroids. I know women who are working with me who their daughters are suffering from fibroids, right? And they're working with me to know everything to do in order to shrink the fibroids because they're not going to have their 14, 15-year-old daughter to go get surgery, which would be ridiculous, right? Especially at a young age like that. I don't think anybody should get surgery for fibroids, but you definitely don't want a teenager to. So we have high schoolers getting fibroids now. And we have women in their 60s and 70s who are also getting fibroids. Postmenopausal fibroids right now is crazy. It's on the rise, right? So honestly, fibroids is something that you can get anywhere from puberty on up, okay? So anybody have any questions? I'm looking for questions. How much is your course? It depends. So go on my, if you click the link in my bio, you'll see different courses. But the 12 steps on how to shrink your fibroids full bundle course, okay, that one is $333. And we do have Klarna and Afterpay. That's the one that gets the crazy results, okay? That course, now all my courses are amazing, but that, you know, the ones that people have reported back on TikTok, mostly they love, and that, you know, I have a lot of reviews for that course as well, has been that course, the 12 steps on how to shrink your fibroids full bundle course, okay? So that one will literally tell you everything you need to do to get rid of your fibroids, plus how to get rid of heavy bleeding, how to reverse anemia, also give you a meal plan, fibroid-friendly meal plan, also give you a fibroid-friendly grocery shopping list, and other trainings in there as well, okay? So if you haven't checked that out, you can click the link in my bio to check that one out, okay? Let's see, I'm looking for more questions. I didn't know until I had a miscarriage. Yes, and perfectly different. I hear that one a lot too, and I'm so sorry about that. I hear that one a lot too. They don't know. A lot of women don't understand, don't know until, you know, something like that happens. So I'm so sorry to hear that. Okay. Should supplements be used? I'm anemic from blood loss from fibroids. So when it comes to supplements, I only recommend herbal supplements. Okay, not these random supplements that they have, because I know that there's some women literally who have fibroids, right? And you know, you go on the website, you go online, you hear you should get all these supplements for fibroids, right? They'll be taking like 10 supplements, and I'm telling them you're actually confusing your body further. So no. Now, if you want to take an herbal supplement, iron supplement, yes, that's perfectly fine, but you have to also get your body to a point where it can absorb iron, because if we're anemic, not only are you losing blood, we have to like decrease the blood flow. We also have to get our body, our digestive system to the point where it can actually absorb the iron, because when you have fibroids, your digestive system is backed up, okay? So, or any type of reproductive health issue, okay? Wow, just found you. Oh yeah, I'm happy you found me. Make sure you're following me. Capricorn Gem. Happy birthday, by the way. I think it is Capricorn season. Had a myomectomy in February. Capricorn Gem, is still good that you found me, because a lot of women get fibroids after having a myomectomy. So it's still good. So you can prevent fibroids from coming back, okay? My doctor tried to tell me it's genetic. No, yeah. You could be predisposed, more predisposed than the average person, but just because a few people in your family have fibroids does not mean you have to get it, right? But now if you do the same, if you have the same lifestyle as them, then yeah, you will, but more than likely. But it's just like high blood pressure. High blood pressure runs on my family, on both sides, my mom and my dad's side, rampantly, like crazy, right? But when I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, so I don't have high blood pressure. Now, back then when I was overweight, I had fibroids, I had all these health issues, my blood pressure was high, okay? So it depends. Just because it runs in your family does not mean you have to get it. Or you're more predisposed to it does not mean you necessarily have to get it, okay? So I'm gonna answer a couple more questions, then go back to the live. Make sure you guys are following me. So I'm 40, my first time I had so much fibroids. I'm so sorry. So yeah, okay. Let's see. If there's a good tea that you would recommend. I like the tea brand. What's that called? Don't tell me it's in my mind. Buddha teas. I like that tea brand. However, teas not gonna get rid of fibroids, ladies. Okay? There is no, let me say something. There is no one product that's gonna get rid of fibroids. No. There is not. I know that if it was, then 80% of people would not be dealing with fibroids. So all this stuff, these products that you see online, it's a lifestyle change, okay? Diet changes, lifestyle changes, right? And also too, there's some healing that has to, also take place, because when you have fibroids, women a lot of times carry a lot of trauma and things in the womb, right? A lot of emotional blockages in the womb. So there's a lot of that releasing. That's what I work with women with as well, to release these traumas and things energetically, right? That heaviness that you feel, that separation from your body, right? Also, it contributes to fibroids. Yes, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Do you teach about PCOS? I do. Most people come to me for fibroids. I do teach about PCOS. I have also worked with women with PCOS and actually help a couple women reverse PCOS. Okay. So, and as a matter of fact, Brandy, I have a workshop next week called Reset Your Hormones to Reset Your Hormones to Reset Your 2024 workshop. And in that workshop for 2 days, the 17th and 18th, what I'll be doing is helping women restore hormonal balance and stay in balance. Because when your hormones are in balance, this is how we get fibroids. This is how we get other PCOS, of course, and other reproductive health issues, heavy bleeding, cramps, all these issues that we think are normal. This is how we get them. They start off as a hormonal imbalance. So it's so important for women to know, how do I restore my hormonal balance and stay like that, stay in balance, so I'm not reverting back to my old ways and getting fibroids again. So if you're watching this, you need to be in that workshop. It's only $77, and everybody that registers gets a replay. Okay, you'll get a replay. So you can watch it as many times as you want to. You get lifetime access, right? That is a steal. So make sure, if you have not registered for my Reset Your Hormones to Reset Your 2024 workshop, you register. And I wanted to do it in January 2024, so we could have you set for 2024 and beyond. So this is the perfect time for you to learn this, to set the tone for 2024. Okay, so okay, so let me get back to that. I'm coming back with the questions, but keep asking the questions. So also hormonal influence. I was just talking about hormonal balance, right? Women don't realize that these issues start off with the hormonal imbalance. And it's so important for you to understand the signs your body is showing you when it's in imbalance, right? What we tend to do is that we try to suppress it with maybe painkillers or like these remedies, right? But we never get to the root cause of the problem, right? So if you, for example, if you're bleeding heavily, you have to find out what's the reason for that. What's the root cause for that, right? It didn't just happen out of the blue. If you have cramps, what is the root cause for that? If you have, even a headache, what's the root cause for that? Is it because I didn't sleep? I didn't drink water? Instead of you just running to take a painkiller, find out what the root cause is, right? And a lot of times we make things worse by trying to suppress what's going on in our body. Our body shows us signs all the time, but we ignore it. And then, the signs get louder and louder, and then all of a sudden you got fibroids. And I know this personally because it happened to me as well, okay? So I heard green tea is good. No. And a lot of green tea has caffeine, and caffeine is not good for fibroids. So that green tea thing, I'm tired of hearing about it. It's not true. That has been literally, I tell you guys, I don't know if you guys usually follow my lives, but I had fibroid surgery about 10, 12 years ago. And then I got fibroids again afterwards. And then I was able to shrink and dissolve them on my own. So back then when I was researching for fibroids, right, like 2012, something like that, 13, back then when I was doing, and I saw green tea as well. And I want to tell you something, as somebody that understands, so that's done the years of research, that understands how the womb works, that understands everything about fibroids, green tea does not work for fibroids. I'm just saying that, okay? I don't know why that's been pushed. It doesn't do anything, okay? You could try it, but make sure if you're going to try it, don't get the one with caffeine, because they'll have a lot of green tea on the market with caffeine. Sorry for the crazy questions. Oh, no. Lily, this is not, no. Go ahead. There's no crazy questions. This is actually a teaching moment for other women as well that's watching this. So there's no crazy question. So yes, I'm hoping that you guys are learning. And if you're learning, make sure you click you tap on the screen to like the live if you're learning and you're enjoying this live. I just started my fibroid journey. Is there any advice you can give me? Okay, so I would say, there's a lot. But I would say first and foremost, this live is perfect for you to understand the unknown things about fibroids. You have to understand fibroids. How did it develop? Find out the root cause of why your fibroids develop, right? Because 9 times out of 10 for most women, they develop after a stressful time in their life. Think about it, a time you weren't taking care of yourself, a time, it could have been a trauma that happened, it could have been a breakup that happened, it could have been, somebody passed in your family, it could have been something triggered, sparked the plug for fibroids to develop. You may have been having hormonal imbalances for a while and bad cycles for a while. Something sparked that plug for fibroids to develop, and you have to understand yourself and your body enough to understand why. And this is what I work with my clients to also find out, right? So that, okay, this is how you figure out how it starts, the past. And I'm not saying beat yourself up for it, because some people will go, oh my God, I went all those years on birth control and doing all this stuff, and I didn't know. If you didn't know what you didn't know. But we just go back to the past in order to understand how this developed, and then we move forward, and then that's when we get on our healing journey. But I would say this, what you want to do definitely is click the link in my bio to join my email list, because I have a training on estrogen dominance, and you need to understand that in order to be on this journey, okay? So that's a free training, a free 30-minute training. So make sure you do that. Imperfectly different. Or was that the right person? Sorry. No, Key Baby, that's who asked the question. Okay, so I'm gonna answer, you guys keep asking the questions. I'm going to keep going down the list on unknown facts about fibroids. So impact on fertility. This one is big because a lot of women don't even think about this. When you have fibroids, yes, this automatically does create a high-risk pregnancy if you get pregnant. This is why I typically tell women, look, if you know you have fibroids and you want to have a baby, right? Spend about 6 months, restore your hormonal balance, start your fibroid shrinking journey before having a baby. Get your body to its optimum level of health before, carrying life. A lot of times we go into pregnancy in all these unhealthy states. And if you're watching this, and if anybody needs to understand that it's so important to be healthy when you get pregnant, but especially Black women, right? Because we know that we have a high mortality rate, right? So a lot of Black women, we know that's very unhealthy, right? If you have fibroids, this means you're unhealthy. We're talking about the digestive system, the overloaded liver, the lymphatic system that's not cleansing that's not getting rid of the toxins like it's supposed to be, right? So we're dealing with lots of toxins in the body, excess estrogen, right? Hormones that are out of balance. Get yourself together first. Get your health together before, embarking on this. And if you're watching this and you know that you want to have children one day and you have fibroids, start now. Don't say, I'm going to start next year. No. Start now. It's January 2024. No time to wait, okay? I'm definitely going to look into that now. Thanks. You're welcome, Brandy. Okay. Would you say birth control could? Absolutely. Would you say birth control could cause it too? Absolutely. 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 A lot of women have fibroids due to birth control, right? You're talking about something that's literally pumping excess estrogen into your body, synthetic hormones into your body. Anything hormonal you should not be taking. That raises your risk not only for fibroids and other reproductive health issues and other health issues in the body, but also breast cancer. How many people have breast cancer because they were on hormones or hormonal birth control? You'll be surprised, okay? So leg pain, yes, leg pain can be caused by fibroid as well. How do we know the fibroid is shrinking? By how you feel. Your periods will get better. You'll feel more energized. You'll have a sense of wellness. You'll feel more refreshed. And then, after a few months, you can confirm with the ultrasound, okay? What makes fibroids grow fast? Ooh, that's a whole lie. A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. I'm going to have, you know what? Make sure you follow me. You also subscribe to my email list so you'll know when I do that live. I'll do that live this week. All the things that make fibroids grow. That was actually a really good live. Okay, make sure if you guys want to watch that live, make sure you're on my email list because you'll know when I'm going to go, I'm going live. Maybe it'll be on Facebook, Instagram, I don't know. Okay? Doctors recommend birth control. Thoughts? Avoid birth control at all costs. If you are watching this and you're on birth control or progesterone, I'm telling you, stop it today. If you have an IUD, make an appointment for them to take it out. Okay? I'm telling you this as somebody that's worked with many women who has been on birth control before. Most of my clients have it, So I know what it does to the body, okay? You're talking about something that literally depletes nutrients from your body, that feeds your body with synthetic hormones. Do you think that your body, that's literally suppressing your own natural hormones, do you think that your body doesn't understand that these hormones that's coming into it isn't fake? Your body all it does is overload the liver and create toxins. It's not, it's not doing what your natural hormones are supposed to do. So please get off birth control. Please. That's the worst. Stress is a big it grows fibroids tremendously. Absolutely. Okay. So let me get to the live. Keep asking questions and I'll keep coming back to answer them, guys. So we know that impact on fertility, it creates, when we're talking about the baby growing and the fibroid growing, because fibroids grow very fast in pregnancy due to the excess hormone levels. It's very dangerous. Like to me, I feel like it's dangerous to be pregnant with fibroids. And, some women, by God's grace, they have a healthy pregnancy. They have for the most part, a healthy pregnancy, right? Some women, they go through a lot of symptoms. They go through a lot of pain. I always hear women saying that who are pregnant with fibroids, they go through a lot of pain. It's not worth it. If you're in that situation where you found out you're already pregnant, you have fibroids, you just found out you have fibroids, you could just do the best you can. And I help women along with that as well so they can stop the growth of the fibroids, so they don't grow and also get in a healthy state as much as they can being pregnant, right? So there's still things that can be done, but you gotta know the right things to do. You have to be careful because you don't want to lack any nutrients, right? So that's why I work with women as well who are pregnant and breastfeeding with fibroids. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So just be very careful. Take 6 months to get your body healthy before you if you can help it before conceiving. Okay, get your body healthy before conceiving. Very important. This also helps lower the risk of trigger warning miscarriages as well. Okay, so we don't want these complications. All right, so let me answer a couple more questions. I tried eating only veggies and almost blacked out because of anemia. I'm not saying only eat veggies. Oh no. Be very careful with these extreme diets. Okay. Yes, I'm 37, so I'm already high risk. Okay, so Lily, you being 37 does not make you high risk. I know that we've been taught that by the media, right? That's actually not true. Now, if you high risk means that your hormones are out of balance. High risk means that you have fibroids. High risk means that you have PCOS or any of these reproductive health issues, or you're in an unhealthy state. High risk does not mean that 30, listen, all 37 is not created equal. Let's be honest, right? There's some 37-year-olds, they no fibroids, hormones are in balance. They're great. They're really good with their health. They exercise, they do, you know what I mean? They take care of themselves. And there's some 37-year-olds that do not. Okay, so 37 is not, and I said this also too in one of my videos, right? So a lot of times we're actually the ones shortening our own fertility window. A lot of women don't understand that. They think, oh, the biological clock, not understand that we all have different clocks. Some of you guys are shortening your own fertility window and you're bringing on early menopause, okay? So when you restore your hormonal balance, when you heal the body, right? When you get rid of these tumors in the womb, you are actually, don't have anxiety though. Don't have anxiety because I work with women in their 40s, right? I work with women in their 30s, in the 20s, and even the early 50s. It's not about age. We always attribute fertility to age, and that's what society told us, right? And when you do the research on this goes deep. I had to do another live on this too, because when we talk about the biological clock myth, okay, you'll find that this is a rabbit hole, okay? And they want you to be anxious and have anxiety about it, right? And it was really created, that myth about the biological clock was created during the white woman feminist time. This was like the 60s, the 50s, right? During the time when white women was, standing up, they want to work the feminist revolution, whatever, right? It was really created to put white women back in their place. But then it's really pushed right now in society on black women, because when you talk about other races of women, they don't really get anxiety about that fertility clock like black women do, okay? Because it's women that's 49, they get on their second marriage and they're trying to have a baby, okay? And they're like, look, I want to have a baby, okay? And you see women black women that are 29 that's panicking. And I'm like, what? So we have to be very careful with that. And then remember, babies cannot come from an anxious state too, okay? So the body has to feel safe in order for you to get pregnant, okay? Hopefully that makes sense, okay? You ever heard of Jamaican dog blood herb? Yes, I have. I have heard of that herb. Thank you. I don't have any kids, but I have had a miscarriage. This gives me hope. Listen, and somebody told me this a long time ago, and I was like, you're right. They had several miscarriages, but they was like, well, at least I know I can get pregnant. And I was like, that's true. At least because she was in an unhealthy state. She had PCOS, endometriosis, all this stuff, right? But she said, at least I know I can get pregnant. She was in her 40s. That's very true. Okay. So, and I'm so sorry for your loss. But you can look at it the other side too. Okay, I can get pregnant. And who knows? A lot of times I've heard, because I'm a very spiritual person, that same soul that was with that baby can come into the next one. That's what they call it, rainbow baby. So hopefully that makes sense. I had a very close family member that also went through that. Actually had a stillbirth, and it was very traumatic on the whole family. So I definitely understand. And now she about to have her third baby. This was like 2016. She's now about to have her third baby. So just know there's light at the end of the tunnel, okay? Size of an orange on top of the uterus. Doc wants to remove it. Can I shrink it? Absolutely. Jessica, absolutely. So for ladies that want information on exactly how to shrink a fibroid, you want exactly step by step check out my 12 steps on how to shrink your fibroids full bundle course. That is an amazing, amazing course. Women have came back 2 weeks after using the course saying that their stomach has gone down significantly after having, when you have that fibroid belly. They've also said that they're bleeding a lot. It's much lighter than before. So it has tremendous results. Okay, so get that course. If you don't have that course and you have fibroids, you need that course. Start off with that course. If you are not ready to work with me personally yet, get the course, okay? It's a self-study course. It's called My 12 Steps on How to Shrink Your Fibroids Full Bundle Course. The link in my bio. So check it out, Jessica. Yes, you can shrink it, okay? Orange size is not even that big. I've had women who with bigger fibroids shrink their fibroids. Food, please. Tristy, if you want to know fibroid-friendly foods, I did a whole YouTube video about that. You can go on my YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. It's called Sasha Rosa. You'll see it. If you want to know, I will do a live about that probably this week too. I can do a live about that, but that's a whole, like I said, another hour-long live. Okay, we got to get to the topic. Okay, so stress connection. Yes, stress does grow fibroids. Somebody mentioned stress earlier. Stress does grow fibroids. Okay, thank you for following me. Make sure you're following me if you are here. If you are interested in conversations about holistic healing and also womb health, okay? Stress grows fibroids. Yes, it does. Because when you're talking about stress, you're talking about it raises the cortisol levels in your body and decreases that progesterone, okay? When we decrease the progesterone, what happens? The estrogen levels get out of hand, right? And this is how we create the environment for fibroids to happen and definitely for fibroids to grow. And think about it, when you're stressed, your period, maybe it's late, maybe it's early, maybe it's a heavy, that happens. You have more symptoms in your cycle. A lot of women, when they've been in stress states, like maybe deal with chronic stress for a while, they develop a fibroid. So stress and you have to know how to manage your stress. Life comes with stress, but you got to know how to manage it. Okay, very important. Okay, and you also have to learn how to take yourself out of stressful situations. Because some of us are in things like stress, toxic relationships. Toxic relationships and shrinking fibroids and being healthy, they can't go together. Okay? Toxic relationships and toxic people create toxins in the body. Okay? So understand that the body keeps score and the body's very intelligent, and women are incubators and they hold a lot of things in their womb. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Okay? I'm 38, have adenomyosis and PCOS. I'm going back on raw foods to help balance my hormones. Shay, okay, raw foods is great. Love raw foods. It takes a lot more to balance your hormones. Make sure you're at the Reset Your Hormones to Reset Your 2024 workshop next week. Okay, click the link in my bio. It's going to be an amazing 2-day workshop, and everybody that registers gets the replays, the recordings of it. Okay, it'll be at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Zoom every afternoon on the 17th and 18th. It's gonna be amazing. My workshops, if you haven't been to my workshops or masterclasses, I put a lot of information. So it's gonna be amazing. So make sure that you're there so you'll learn, actually, it's more than diet, how to actually balance your hormones. So, you can also work on getting rid of these issues, okay? Hopefully I'll see you there. It's only $77, which is cheap according to the information I'm going to provide, okay? And we have Carn and Afterpay for those that wanna utilize it as well. I started eating healthy and the bleeding is so light. Good. I'm definitely happy about that. Good. Okay. Is it necessary to take medication from the doctor to increase blood flow and blood clots during cycles? Do you mean to decrease or do you mean to increase? And medication is never good when it comes to fibroids. No. Because when we're talking about prescription medications, we're talking about something that overloads the liver, the kidneys, right? Since I'm on the holistic side, I'm against pharmaceuticals. That's me. Okay, so I don't teach my clients now. You want to take it, you can go ahead, but here's the thing: we're still not getting to the root cause of the problem. So what that is doing is just relieving the problem temporarily. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. You're welcome, Shay. Okay, so let's get back to the topic. Okay, so UFE, that's another thing. So be very careful with UFE, that is uterine fibroid embolization. It's very popular again on TikTok. Be very careful about this. First of all, this procedure has not been out for a very long time, and it has a lot of it can, for a lot of women, have potential complications. A lot of women have gotten this procedure and have bled, like we're dealing with heavy bleeding, ongoing bleeding, you know, and so many other things. And when we talk about something that literally freezes the blood vessel in the uterus, something can go wrong very easily, okay? And you're putting plastic particles up your uterus in order to kill a fibroid. That can be very dangerous, okay? So a lot, and there's also too, we're not even talking about the excruciating pain that happens to everybody afterwards. You don't have to do these extreme methods of healing, okay? You can actually heal your body where it's not painful, okay? So please don't think that you have to go through pain in order to see relief. No, you don't. The natural way is better, and women still get fibroids after having a UFE as well. That still happens, okay? So hopefully that makes sense, okay? Is period getting lighter a sign of shrinking? In some ways it is. It depends on what you're doing. So it is a good, if you were dealing with heavy bleeding before and you have fibroids and it's starting to get lighter, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. That means that you're starting to work on rebalancing the hormones. We still got work to do, but if you have no symptoms, no cramping, no no cramping, no breast tenderness, none of the symptoms that you had before, that's a good sign. We're getting somewhere, okay? So I would have to ask more questions to really know if they're really shrinking, but that's definitely a good sign, okay? My cousin did that last year and they grew back a lot. Yeah, you down to earth, yes. That happens a lot. A lot of women have come to me after having UFE that, you know, in the past, and also myomectomies. These again are just temporary, okay? Temporary. All right, so very important. So be very careful with UFE. Again, you don't have to do extreme methods of healing. I missed it. Did you say how fast they can grow? No, I just said that they grow back after having these procedures if you don't get to the root cause of the problem, whether it's a UFE or a myomectomy. Okay, so you have to get to the root cause of the problem to actually see real relief. Okay, so anybody has any other questions? I also want to talk about doctors saying that fibroids go away magically after menopause or shrink after menopause. That is not true. Okay, as somebody that works with women, you know, in their 40s and 50s as well, there has been a high occurrence of women getting fibroids, postmenopausal fibroids. I don't know what's going on, but it's a high occurrence of that, right? They don't magically shrink after menopause. That is false. Okay, I don't understand why doctors are still telling women that is actually a lie, a big fat lie. They do not shrink after menopause. Okay, so there's some women who maybe in their 30s and 40s are like, I'm gonna wait till menopause. You know, I'm gonna, let my fibroids continue to bother me and let it grow, and then wait for menopause, and then they'll magically shrink. And you're doing yourself a disservice. Okay, my cousins grew back after 6 months of doing you mean the UFE procedure? Yeah, I've heard women literally have their fibroids grow back 3 months after a myomectomy. That happens, okay? With having fibroids, does your body keep up with the irregular cycle of the missed period? Everybody's different. Everybody will have different symptoms when it comes to fibroids, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so do you guys have any other questions? Remember that when we talk about fibroids, this is the most important thing. If you're not getting to, I want you, all these remedies y'all are doing, if you're not getting to the root cause of the problem, remember that it's a waste of your time. Now, or if they're natural remedies, they may make you feel better, okay? But if you're not essentially at the same time getting to the root cause of the problem, you're not making much progress, right? Our goal is not only to restore our hormonal balance, but also ultimately to get rid of these fibroids, right? And if we want that, then we have to actually get to the root, or what's gonna happen, we're gonna just regrow these fibroids again. I know somebody that did a really harsh, really harsh regimen to get rid of fibroids, and they fell out, but one fell out, but she ended up growing them again. Right? So is it really worth it? You know, if you cannot, she didn't do the work to get to the root cause of the problem, and again, she couldn't keep up with whatever she was doing. Okay, I am to refer her to your page. Yeah, refer her. She wants the hysterectomy. Oh no, that's even worse. That's even worse, right? Because it just causes so many issues in the body. Okay, so make sure you guys are following me. If you're not following me, join my email list. If you have, because I'm going to do a lot of amazing lives this week If you're not on the email list, you're not gonna know what time, whether I'm going live or not, what platform I'm going live on. Be on the email list, okay? You can click the link in my bio, join my email list, and you get a video training on estrogen dominance and fibroids, which you need to understand when you subscribe to my email list, okay? So I'm gonna ask a couple more questions before. I take iron pills. It hurts my stomach and bleed. What do you recommend to get my blood count up? So spreading love and kindness, that's actually included. How to reverse anemia is actually included in my 12 steps on how to shrink your fibroids full bundle course. So make sure you check that out, okay? But iron pills, I also explained in that course that iron pills is not the iron that your body recognizes. The iron pills the doctor gives you, that's why you have all the symptoms. Some people have constipation, right? It's not the iron that your body actually recognizes, so it doesn't really do much. It doesn't really help much, right? You gotta get your body to the point where it can actually absorb iron, and you have to also decrease blood flow, okay? So be sure to get that course if you haven't gotten the course. Notice low libido and pain during intercourse. These are all, is it because of a hormonal imbalance? Low libido is a hormonal imbalance for sure. Pain during intercourse, if it's from dryness, then yes, it's a hormonal imbalance. If it's from fibroids, then it's a hormonal imbalance and fibroids, okay? Because the root cause of fibroids, your hormones start to be imbalanced. So everybody that has fibroids has a hormonal imbalance, okay? A lot of people don't know that, but you do. That's why. So if you're watching this, you have fibroids, adenomyosis, PCOS, any type of hormonal imbalance, you need to be at my Reset Your Hormones to Reset Your 2024 workshop next week on the 17th and 18th. I'm super excited about that. We've had a lot of women that register, okay? Be sure to be in that workshop. It's gonna be absolutely amazing. All you have to do is click the link in my bio to join, to register. It's only $77, which is a steal for the information I'm gonna provide in that workshop, okay? This is information you have access to lifetime because again, you get lifetime access to the workshop. You'll get the recordings, everybody that registers, okay? So get into that workshop. I'm really excited about it. I know some people on this platform as well have registered. When I say this platform, in TikTok, some of my followers have registered, okay, from TikTok. Is coffee okay with fibroids? No, we don't want to do caffeine. Caffeine, is really harmful with fibroids, unfortunately, okay? Let's see, anybody have any questions? Can I do a one-on-one session with you? So to work directly with me is either my Detoxify Your Womb program. Okay, I do have my 6-week intensive, but the deadline to join that was before the 1st. But that's the only one-on-one I have now. Okay, if you really want to do, every now and then I may take on a couple one-on-one clients. So just send me a message. Let's talk. Okay, because I really try to, of course, my clients, they get my one-on-one time for sure. But send me a message. We'll see. Is juicing good to do? Juicing is always good to do. You can do juicing. Yeah, you can do. I think juicing is good to do. I'm more of a smoothie type of person, but juicing is always good as well. Any other questions? Okay. I want to make sure you guys check out that workshop, Reset Your Hormones to Reset Your 2024 workshop. Okay. It's next week. It's literally in 8 days? No, 9 days, right? But register now so you don't forget, okay? Make sure you join my email list. You can click the link in my bio to join my email list. You can also click the link in my bio to register for the workshop. I want to see y'all there. It's time for you to understand, to know how to restore hormonal balance and stay in balance so you don't continue getting these reproductive health issues. This is information that your hormones are something that affects you for your entire life. They affect every bodily function, okay? Whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, you want your hormones to stay in balance, okay? Very important. I'm taking beet juice for anemia. Okay, I missed your live. Are you on DeAndrea, are you on my email list? Because that's probably why you missed it. Make sure you're on the email list. That's when I announce I'm going live. So you don't miss it because I'm doing some good lives this week, okay? You don't want to miss it this upcoming week, okay? So make sure you're on the email list if you're not on the email list, okay? Does anybody have any last minute questions? Unknown facts about fibroids. Okay, very, very important. Now, when you get fibroids, it's almost like what your body is telling you is that your body's trying to get your attention, right? In a sense, it's trying to get your attention. It's letting you know that there's something that there's changes that have to be made. There's something that needs to be healed on a deeper level, okay? So a lot of times we go through life and you know, with these symptoms, with heavy cycles, headaches, and you know, breast tenderness, and you know, PMS and PMDD, and think that it's normal, and don't really do actions in order to reverse these things, and then they just get worse and worse and worse. So your first warning may have been heavy bleeding. Everybody's different, but you know, take the warning, right? Take the warning, take the sign that you have fibroids, that changes need to be made. Take that sign, right? Now, when it comes to that, like I said, you don't want to continue ignoring this and not making changes. Because, like I said, it gets worse as time goes on. That's how the body works. I signed up for, okay, so good. You're on the email list, DeAndre, that's good. Yes, it's quality of life not good when you have low iron. Yes, exactly. You down to earth. You're so right. You're so right. Your quality, I used to have very heavy bleeding and anemia. Your quality of life sucks when you have that. You deserve a healthy, happy life. That's why it's so important to resolve these issues, right? Okay? If you're watching this, you got heavy periods, you need to be at the workshop next week. Okay? You need to be at the workshop next week. Reset your hormones to reset your 2024 workshop. Yes, don't forget about sleeping a lot and shortness of breath. Yes, that was my problem. My mom used to always get mad at me because she said I slept too much. I was always tired, but she didn't know, because I was suffering from fibroids and anemia. That's why. Shortness of breath, I used to deal with that too. And chest pains, because you have to understand, when you're anemic, what's going on is oxygen is not getting to your, enough oxygen is not going to your vital organs. Okay, so this is very detrimental to your health. Your body cannot do what it's designed to do when you are anemic. This is a huge thing that you have to resolve. Okay, it's not a joke. Alrighty. Okay, I don't see any more questions. Make sure you guys are on my email list. You'll know when I'm going live this week, and you know what topics I'm talking about. Okay, if you haven't registered for the workshop, be sure to register. It is Reset Your Hormones to Reset Your 2024 workshop. If you want to know exactly, I'm signing up for the workshop. Yay, DeAndre, I'm excited. So we have a lot of women that signed up. I'm really excited. And we're going to have a section for Q&A as well. And again, it's going to be recorded, so you can watch it as many times afterwards as you want. So yeah, I'm excited. Okay, iron infusion, every 4 months. I'm tired of it. Yeah, we got to stop that. We don't want to be relying on any type of infusions or blood transfusion, none of that stuff, okay? Not when our body is very powerful and intelligent and can actually, get enough iron on its own. But you have to, like I said, get the body to the point where it can absorb iron and decrease that bleeding, okay? And if you want to know how to do that, if you look at my bio, I have my 12 steps on how to shrink your fibroids full bundle course, okay? Now, if you're signing up for the workshop, listen, it's in 9 days. Do it now so you don't forget, okay? Because some people will be like, oh, I forgot. Do it now so you don't forget, because we're going to have a cutoff time, okay? And I'm really excited. The workshop is going to be amazing. Workshops are always great. So if you're not on the email list, get on the email list, okay? So I'm going to take one last question before I go. Thank you guys so much for being here. This was an amazing live. Hopefully you guys learned a lot, because again, there's so much misinformation out there about fibroids, and it just keeps us in a more confused state. And when you don't understand how these things develop in the body, this is how, you know what I mean? If you don't understand fully, how can we get rid of them, right? How can we make informed decisions about something we don't know anything about, okay? Where can I sign? If you click the link in my bio, you can sign. No problem, Lily. If you click the link in my bio, you'll see Reset Your Hormones to Reset Your 2024 workshop. That's where, and click on that, you'll see where to register and pay, okay? That's pretty much it. All right. Are you free to get, yeah, exactly. It's not worth it to get surgery when it will come back if you don't get to the root cause of the problem. And I'm saying this as somebody that's gotten surgery and had fibroids come back. So I know that pain, okay? It's not worth it. And I regret ever even getting the surgery in the first place. It was just, no. Okay, I know that when we're scared, sometimes we make desperate decisions, but you don't want to make a decision out of desperation. That's what I did. You don't want to do that. And I see a lot of women also doing that as well. And you don't want to do that, okay? When we make decisions out of desperation, we make the wrong decisions, okay? All right, so that is all. Have a great day. Join my email list so you'll know when I'm going live. Make sure you follow me if you're not following me already. All right, love you guys. Have a great one.